Well, we're really excited about our RV makeover, and we're very excited that Jane's come all the way from Australia to help us do it, but she hasn't seen inside it yet. So that's what she's about to do and give us her ideas on what she thinks we should be doing to transform CC.
Today is the big day where we just get to have a look and meet CC, the RV, who I affectionately call the van. There's a lot to do here.
There's a big job.
But it's going to be phenomenal, guys. I'm really, really excited. So you ready?
Yeah, we're glad you're here. Let's do it.
Okay. I'd like to just have a look around and get a feel for her. So,
all right.
Yeah, so maybe if you guys want to just
leave. All right.
Leave. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. Wow. Bigger than my kitchen at home. Yeah. Oh, okay, it's comfortable. Well, when I first started discussing the RV reno with Jules and Marc, I had already done their bricks and mortar home in Colorado beforehand, and we had done that entirely by Skype. So when we started talking about this, we were doing a lot of face-to-face via, you know, Facebook Time and all those sorts of mediums, and you know, and that was really interesting because I got to see them in situ in their van and go, okay, I can see how that works. I see how they work together as a team because they're constantly, you know, sharing a workspace. You know, it's just one environment that they're living in. So I was really privy to that before I even lobbed up and stepped foot onto the actual CC herself. I love that it's got a great base, that it's already white. The flooring. Of course, we're going to have to do something about the flooring. That's pretty tragic. What I can imagine us doing is pulling this up and changing the palette entirely. So having a flooring that's going to be versatile, functional, beautiful, practical, and hopefully light. I can do a lot here, actually. There's a lot that can be done with paint, wallpaper, and soft furnishings. I had no idea that CC was going to be in such phenomenal condition. The lounge, I really thought that I would probably pull this out, but now seeing her, you know, she's comfortable with a few throw cushions and pillows. She's gonna look $1 million. I'm at the hub of where this RV takes off. Like, I can't believe that you actually drive this thing. So this is where Marc, who's the main driver, sits. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's sort of like driving a jet. You know, and once upon a time in a past life, I was a jet hostess, so I can only imagine how amazing it feels driving this RV. Marc and Jules have said to me that they want to have a workstation, so this would be a prime spot to maybe build a little desk here, because this isn't going to be used except when they're on the road, so this would be a perfect space. So this is Marc and Julie's shared workspace here. This seems to work quite well here. I like the fact that they can look out and have some nice visual stimuli there when they're working. I like this chair here, it's out of the way. Again, I wouldn't ordinarily perhaps pick this chair. You know, it looks a little chunky for the space and a tiny bit dated, but I think because it is so phenomenally comfortable, I'm actually going to keep this chair, and I know it reclines and it swings, so it's great if they've got mixed company or if they're entertaining here. So there's a lot that we're going to do with CC, the RV. When we talked about collaborating, as me being the Aussie designer coming to help, you know, transform and renovate CC, it was a real consideration as to, you know, what they could give their viewers and their audience. The design aspect for me was really looking at how do I make the tips really approachable and doable for full-time RVers, for part-time RVers, for the odd person that's got a caravan in their backyard that maybe wants to reno that. So I had a lot of tips around which way I was going to be directing that for giving tips to the viewer that they could use in their own space. Is it comfortable? Is it practical? Is it beautiful? And most importantly, does it showcase the people who live there? I'm really excited about this space here. It used to have mirrors on, which people think makes the space look bigger, but in actual fact, sometimes it can make it look smaller. What I especially love about this is that there is a wall that gives us so much scope to decorate. Now this dinette, I actually thought this was a lot bigger than it actually was, and that's where photos can be a little deceiving, but I have got some good ideas for this. This kitchen is actually bigger than my kitchen in Sydney. There's a lot of walk space, there's a lot of room. The really neutral bench tops, I don't have to change those. And what I can do is change the whole feel of this kitchen with a simple choice of maybe changing the paint color, maybe changing the handles, maybe changing the tapware. What I am surprised about is the number of lights in the RV. Like there's a lot of ventilation, there's a lot of lighting. What I need to do with that to take the sight line away from that is actually bring the eye down. And that's going to be easily achieved, which is what I talked about before with putting in new flooring. Look at what Marc and Jules have bought. This amazing fridge. I am so jealous. Can't believe how much room is here and what good nick it is in. So a little bit of paint, bit of a new basin, definitely new tabs. Really not keen on this, but it's like, how nice is that? A skylight in the shower. So, oh, okay. Oh, so that comes out. All right. I'll definitely be changing this. Storage, I'm guessing. Okay. Gosh, this van, wow, has a lot of storage. More than my place. I love this. This is great. And as Jules says, new with a view, what I really, really love about CC is there's lots of wall space, but it's not just a wall. It could be a place to store things, to hang things. Lots of ideas brewing in here for this wall. I love their sense of adventure. I love that they decided to throw in the bricks and mortar house, buy an RV, tour America, you know, really amp up their life and go, you know, there is more to life than just the street that they were living in. How good is this bedroom? What I love about it is Jules and Marc have a huge queen size bed. Oh, super comfy. I'm not happy with all the mirrors. Probably going to take out most of these mirrors. You know, the bedroom space needs to be something that's really nourishing and a real retreat and a real sanctuary. It's going to take this bedroom to the next level of luxe. For Marc and Jules, because I know they're not big TV watchers, this is going to go. If you want more intimacy in the bedroom, really is best not to have a TV in there unless you actually have to have it, but it's just a tip, take it or leave it. Just because it's a small space doesn't mean that it's going to be an easier space. And I knew that being an RV, but I didn't realize just how time consuming it is to get everything so perfect and specific, because this is a home that's on wheels. So it has a lot of requirements. It has weight, it has height, it has sound, it has stability requirements. So it wasn't an easy job for me to come in as a designer. I was very restricted by even a lot of the furniture choices that I wanted to make, because this thing is going to be traveling down freeways and highways of America. CC's on the move.
So we decided to live in CC for a few months to get clear on what kind of changes we wanted to make before we put the time and the money into it. And there were a few things that we knew we wanted to do right away. We weren't afraid to spend money on CC in the systems and the appliances and the upgrades and decorating it to make it beautiful. But at the same time, we didn't want to overdo it, because at the end of the day, RVs are depreciating assets. So it's about making our home environment and our work environment comfortable and enjoyable. After all, we're in this thing 24/7. We are together 24/7 in under 400 square feet, and so it was really important to both of us that we had a really great space.
There was a TV mounted directly above the driver, and it was on an arm that would swing around when you drove, so that had to come out right away.
You might have also noticed that those floor-to-ceiling beveled mirrors are gone, and that was part of the fridge removal project, is getting rid of those, and we didn't break a single one.
It's fun digging into this.
Funny, isn't it? We had no desire at all to do an RV renovation before we hit the road, but now it's...
Well, now it's very different. We have a totally different lifestyle now. This is fun. I love construction stuff and demolition stuff.
Guys, how nice to sit down, have a cuppa, and talk about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Cheers to being in, where are we? Oregon. Oregon.
Yeah.
That's been some plane ride to get here, but worth it. Cheers, guys.
Now you've seen our CC for real, because previously we just shared some photos with Jane, so seeing it in person is quite different.
Oh, it's really different, guys. What I wanted to do was give you an overview of what I'm thinking about doing, and then see how that works for you. Like there might be an automatic response to balk at what I'm going to suggest.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah, I'd really like you to have just the opportunity to think about it before saying immediately no.
We all agreed that we're replacing the floor, repainting, taking out the mirrors, replacing the window shades. Most part really liked Jane's ideas and suggestions, but there were a few that kind of I wasn't expecting and took a little while to come around to, really.
Well, some of those are pretty big. I think one of the biggest in my mind was the suggestion of flipping the cabinet doors.
What I was noticing, guys, which is why I wanted to bring you over here, was the cabinetry here. There's a lot going on. Like, it's quite a small space, and when we're in a small space, we want to actually make sure that we create an illusion of more space. Because of all the lines, it's making this look very skinny and very claustrophobic. So what I was thinking was, if we were just to turn the doors around and rehang them. So see the difference? Like, we've just got this neat framework. So Mark, maybe we could, I don't think it'd be a big job, huge job anyway, to maybe turn them around and put the hinges on the other side.
Well, I really like the idea how this looks so clean.
Yeah.
If these hinges can flip, that's a pretty unique idea. But are we talking about these two, or are we talking about a lot of cupboards?
Mark, I know you're going to really love me, but I'm thinking, because it's going to look so nice, I'm thinking about probably all 167 cupboard doors in the van.
It's a big job, and I'm still not even 100% sure it's going to work. I got to get them off and see.
But we'll it's a possibility, right?
Definitely an exciting possibility.
Yeah, taking off those cabinet doors and just flipping them was a risky project because it was a big project, and if something went wrong, there went your cabinet door. You have to start from scratch.
We have to buy new ones.
So the dinette, guys, tell me about this zone here. What's going on here?
I will once in a blue moon do a little bit of work here, but it's really uncommon. We eat most all of our meals here. We like it to be a dedicated space.
I'm not a big fan of dinettes, even if they're comfortable, unless they look a little bit more grown up. It just looks a bit like this is where the kids sit to eat.
Right.
We're not kids, we don't have kids, so we don't need this drops down, this table, to create a sleeping area. We don't need that, so drinks for 6, dinner for 4, and sleeping for 2.
We did one big job before you got here, and that's replacing the fridge.
With a residential fridge, and we love it.
Oh my gosh, we love that.
Switching a refrigerator in an RV meant you had to take it out of the driver's side window and bring the new one in through the driver's side window. So we needed to have a lot of hands on deck.
Yeah, they were both really heavy. Luckily we had a team to help us. Now we did that in Texas a few months before the renovation. So what we also had to do was secure the residential fridge before we made the trek from Texas to Oregon for the makeover.
So that's what this ugly wall's about, is because that's just temporary. I'm gonna have to build an entirely new cabinet for the refrigerator.
Part of this construction too is that we'll be building this wall, but we'll also be building the space above the refrigerator. And so there's a lot going to be happening with this space.
Yeah, it's going to be a real feature.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because at the moment it's a real work in progress. I have a feeling things are going to get a lot messier and ugly and chaotic around here in the next couple of weeks than it is right now.
In the next few hours, right?
Probably that we really need to keep in mind with this is we have one slide in this coach, and that is the wall that gets covered when the slide comes in on travel days. So whatever we do, we have to make sure if we put pictures up there or whatever, that they're not jutting out too much to impede the slide.
That's a great point, Jules.
Yeah.
This is going to be especially important that nothing can stick out past where this wall is, but also that we got to be careful that nothing can fall. Because if that slide comes in and then they fall, then it's very difficult.
Yeah, and then the big piece de resistance in the kitchen, those mirrored splashback panelled tiles.
You don't like them? Come on.
I think they've had their day in CC.
I think they've had about 20 years of days. So.
Yeah. There's just so many options now with stick and peel, you know, depending when we sit down and talk about the weights, and you can tell me like what specs I can play with as far as weight, whether we get like a stick and peel wallpaper backsplash, which is really popular, guys, for you at home if you just want to like change your countertop or change your backsplash, or whether we pull that off and we've got enough space to actually have a real tile.
Well, you know that's, I really appreciate you taking that into consideration, because in most RVs, that's a really critical factor. In our old RV, that was definitely going to be a no-go. This coach, we actually do have some weight to play with. So
fantastic.
If we want to go with real tile, we can afford that weight.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
In relation to our bathroom, we actually have what's called a split bath, and we actually really like it. It's something that was on our wish list when we were looking for this RV. We really liked the extra space and the privacy offered by a split bath right now. But a lovely big gold rimmed shower door. Glass shower door.
I did see that.
I like the idea of a shower curtain, be able to bring some bit of personality and colour in, but also because at the moment I haven't cleaned my shower, so I can see all of the marks on the glass, and so it doesn't look very nice. Thing is our laundry baskets. I'm trying to find somewhere to put that. We've been keeping it in the shower, but because it's a glass door, anyone that walks by, it's fine for us, but if we have guests, you're walking right by an open glass shower and seeing our dirty laundry, and we just don't want everyone to be looking at our dirty laundry.
Sure, you have some thoughts about the fact that we have, what is it, 9 mirrors?
9 mirrors,
in the bedroom?
we counted
so,
them.
I mean, everywhere you look in there is a mirror.
You see yourself.
So, yeah, you see
From
yourself.
every angle, even when you don't want to be.
It seems a little overwhelming when I walk in there, and I for me,
Especially with the lights on.
For me, I like to think,
What I love about your bedroom is the vast, huge windows that you've got. This is such a dream bedroom to work with because of all the space. I've got some ideas in mind, and probably just to give you the heads up, guys, those mirrors are gotta go. They've gotta go.
We're totally fine with that.
Wow, how nice is this to be sitting in the living room, guys? And I love these chairs, and these chairs are old and they're not the most modern or clean lined. They are so magnificently comfortable.
Yes,
we're just going to basically keep this living area the same. We don't need to do much because we're going to have the new flooring. We're going to have the accent of the colour around here. Freshen it up with white paint. And then what I'm going to do is and for you at home, this is a great easy fix, is change up the cushions, add a pop of colour. So I'll be adding cushions that will link in with the rest of the story that we're going to bring in here. The thing I'm delighted about is the curtains in the van. So these, I'm not going to touch these because they're in such good nick, and they're really practical. They're easy to maneuver. So if it's hot or it's cold or you want some more privacy, it's just a matter of pulling those curtains around.
And you're okay with our office space, right?
I love the office space. I like the fact that it's out of your sight line, which is what I'm always talking about. I just don't want you to always be at work, because I know you guys are always at work. I know you work so long and so hard. So I want to keep that as visually out of the main frame of your big, living, relaxing life as possible. So I think that's it for us, don't you reckon?
I think we've covered everything.
I think we have, guys. Look, if we've missed something, the viewers have questions, I'm sure.
Yeah, just pop them down in the comments below. I hope you're really enjoying this series, and I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions, lots of comments. Hope you're really enjoying a lot of the tips and ideas that Jane's sharing. This is going to be a big change, I think a lot bigger than we were initially anticipating. But I don't know why I'm surprised, because I've known Jane for 10 years. But one thing I do know is that every time you do weave your magic, like, it always ends up beautiful. So thanks for flying all the way over here to do that.
You're
because
so welcome.
This is a crazy schedule. Mark's a little overwhelmed because
I'm overwhelmed because there's a lot of work involved, and from what we've been learning. But I'm also really excited because I mean, I just now that we've got this all planned out, I'm ready to get into it. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to put the work boots on and get to work.
Alright, well, that's about as good a time as any to wrap this up, and get on our work gear and rip Cece apart and reinvent her.
Okay.
Let's do it.
See ya.
Bye. We hope you're enjoying this series. Don't forget to hit subscribe, click the bell for notifications of all new videos. There's Makeover Monday over here throughout this series. Don't forget to follow us on social media and of course the blog at rvlove.com, where we've got loads more photos and background information about this RV renovation. So jump on over to RVLove and we'll see you there.